is the grayest, drizzliest day.
Fall is officially here. Check out this new Aldi. First impression, it was huge. Spent more than I had planned.
Fall fashion hack, go to the men's section. For anybody who hasn't heard yet, the actor who played Chandler Bing passed away. Every single one of the frames that I made, magnets, all fell down.
I'm at Staples, which is not a place I normally frequent.
Ooh, I found the notebook section. It's like they're trying to get me to buy more things. Who knew 3-ring binder hunting would be so hard? I have an entire bag of apples that I've picked. Looking up some apple-themed desserts. All is good in the world. I have tea and a few books I thought I would chat to you about. YouTubers, I'm Cassandra Joy and welcome to my channel. I'm very sleepy, if that wasn't painfully obvious. It is the grayest, drizzliest day. You'd never know that it was 9:30 in the morning. You'd think it was only 6 a.m. for how gloomy it is. Oh, that's my toast done. Wasn't quite done. Put it in for a little bit longer. Today is Monday, which means I have the day off from work. I've got to look human, which I don't think I do quite right now. So the plan for today is to do some errands. I need to go grocery shopping, gotta tidy my loft. It's starting to look a little bit messy and I'd like to get ahead of that before it gets too bad. I'd also like to bake a few things. One particular something for a friend of mine who had a baby. You all remember my friend Erica and her sweet 3 girls. She just had a baby boy who I haven't met yet. I recently went to an apple orchard. I didn't film it. It was just for fun and came home with quite a few apples that need using up. So I have a few recipe ideas that I'd like to utilize with those apples. So that is the rundown of today's plan. But what I didn't mention, for the grocery store portion, I'm gonna go somewhere entirely new. Aldi opened up a storefront here in my town. I haven't gone in, I haven't seen it, but I've been dying to go and I have to go grocery shopping anyway. So I figured I would take you along with me, get some phone footage of the inside while I shop. But breakfast first. That's top priority.
Got cold. Fall is officially here. Turned my heat on for one of the first times ever in a good long while. Okay, first things first. I remembered to get bags. I need to make sure I have a quarter for the cart, which I do. Perfect. I think we are ready to go check out this new Aldi. So I was on the hunt for sourdough bread and it doesn't look like they have any, which is super disappointing because I need that weekly. Oh well, see what else they have. goodness, for the middle of a day on a Monday, it was pretty busy. I kept wanting to stop and talk to you or stop and film, but it was just really hard to do. It's because it's all new. First impression, it was huge. It was really impressive. It was clean, it smelled new. The workers were really prompt and helpful. Spent more than I had planned. I set aside $30, spent $50. But that's my own fault because I saw a few snacky things that I wanted to try and they looked too good to leave behind. I have no one but me to blame. I've got all this packed away so nicely, so I think what I'm gonna do is go home first and then give you a haul of everything I got. But as far as my thoughts on the new Aldi, I'm impressed. There are only a couple things that they don't have, like Cassie-friendly ice cream. They don't have any lactose-free options on the ice cream front, although they did have lactose-free milk, which I really appreciated. So it doesn't have everything, but it has most things. It was really fun to shop through there and see all the new things. Definitely will be making a return visit. But let's go home so I can have lunch and show you a haul of everything I got. Alright, I'm home and I've got 2 huge boxes of groceries. Also, before any of you ask, yes, every single one of the frames that I made to be magnets all fell down. More to the point, the magnets didn't stick because almost every single frame had a felty background. So I'm thinking I might have to go back in with some Gorilla Glue or something stronger to keep them on the fridge. Not Gorilla Glue against the fridge, but on the part of the magnet that sticks to the back of the frame. That's not today's problem, but I figured I'd let you know why my fridge looks like this. All right, I figured the easiest way to do this would be to just run through as I put everything away what I got. We've got some crispy oats, which is clearly a knockoff for Cheerios. I've gotten into Cheerios again, and as long as I pair it with protein, it doesn't seem to affect me as far as a sugar spike or sugar crash. Got my trusty Stoke coffee. Cannot live without this. And I was out. Haven't even had any this morning, so that was a must purchase. Got some lactose-free milk as well because I'm running a little bit low. Cotton candy grapes. I thought these were done for the season, but I happened to see them in the fruit aisle and I immediately snatched them up. If you've never had cotton candy grapes, don't do it. Don't buy them, because I'm warning you now, all of the grapes will be ruined for you. You will never be able to go back to ordinary grapes. They're that good. You have been warned. And then on a whim, I picked these up. They're called Popcorners. I tried a sweet and salty version when I was on vacation in Anna Maria Island, Florida. I had never seen the brand here, but after vacation, I'm seeing it everywhere. So when I saw they had sea salt and cinnamon crunch, I had to pick them up. All right, that's one bag empty. I was debating on whether or not I should get any meat. My usual go-to are chicken tenders or tilapia. Not only did they have tilapia, but they were 50% off. So I picked 2 of them up. Next, I got myself some corn on the cob. Don't know if this is gonna taste very good since it's kind of out of season, but I figured I'd try. It says sweet corn, figured I'd try it. Got myself some paper towels, very boring, very grown up. I might or might not have been tempted by some pumpkin bread, and I may or may not have allowed it to tempt me to put it in my cart. I got some pumpkin sliced loaf cake. It sounds so good. This is not keto, this is not healthy, but it's seasonal. And I feel like every once in a while, you're allowed to give yourself just a little treat, as long as you pace yourself and pair it with protein. And then the last thing I got that was a little bit naughty were these. They're animal crackers. Again, I found these on vacation, and they taste amazing. I'm forever altered, and I'm definitely gonna open them after I have lunch. And that's everything I got from Aldi. Not too bad.
I just won $1 million.
Hello loves, it's a little while later. I did something I rarely ever do. I took a nap. And if you hear voices downstairs, it's my niece talking to her dad on Skype. I just couldn't keep my eyes open. Knew I would get nothing done if I didn't just close my eyes for a minute. So I crawled into bed, got cozy, dozed for maybe an hour, and woke up feeling just rotten. I have a headache, which I didn't go to sleep with. I feel groggy despite the fact that I slept. I also can't seem to get warm. It's just so miserably cold outside, so I've made myself a steaming cup of tea. It's pumpkin flavored. It tastes so warm. It's one of the only things I can do to warm myself from the inside out. Works every time. So cozy. For anybody who hasn't heard yet, Matthew Perry, the actor who played Chandler Bing, he passed away. And thank you to both friends and you guys who came on Instagram to let me know about it. You all know how much I love Friends. It's my favorite comfort show. It just instantly lifts my spirits when nothing else can. It's my go-to comfort film that I can watch over and over and over and never get tired of it. I think a lot of people loved his character of Chandler. I know I appreciated and adopted a lot of his sarcasm. Always joke that sarcasm was my first language and English is my second, but Chandler really helped that process along, I'm not gonna lie. He added some finesse to the basic level of sarcasm I already possessed. And apparently he was just a really cool guy. Everyone seemed to love him. I'm not in focus. So the goal right now is to try to feel a little better, kick this headache, watch some Friends, sip some tea, and then tidy my loft. Friends is usually my go-to tidy TV show because I've seen it so many times I don't get as sucked in as I would. And also just to pay a little bit of homage to Matthew Perry, sort of a celebratory tribute to his life. Anyway, I thought I'd mention because I know a lot of you also love Friends. I know the favorite character of a lot of you is Chandler, so I thought I would just let you know that he's one of my favorites too. And I think we're all taking a little bit of time thinking about him today. I'm just gonna spend the next little bit taking it easy and we're watching Friends Season 1.
Joey and Chandler are coming over to help me put together my new furniture. Yes, very excited about it. I would have to say it's an L-shaped wreck. Which goes where? I have no understand. Between us, we haven't had a relationship that's lasted longer than a mentor. 4 years of closeness and sharing, at the end of which you ripped your heart out, and that is why we don't do it. I don't think that was my point. It's amazing. Congratulations.
You know, I figured if I can make coffee, there's anything I can do.
No, I think it's if I can make Poland. There's anything. What's up? I think for us, kissing is pretty much like an opening end. You know, I mean, it's like stand-up comedian. You sit through your employment. You know, I mean, we're fighting traffic, basically. Just trying to stay away.
Guys, bring back meaning. Otherwise, next time you're gonna find yourself sitting at home listening to that album alone.
Hello, it's another day. I just got off work and I'm at Staples, which is not a place I normally frequent, but for anybody who doesn't know, I've been working on this book called My Chai Project. That's the code name, not the real title. The thing about writing books is that you have to print it out quite often in order to edit it, fix mistakes, see mistakes in a different way. Sometimes seeing it on paper as opposed to a screen can help you pinpoint those things you missed. But to print it out, I need 3-ring binders, which I don't really have. I have one 3-ring binder, and that's it. So I'm at Staples to pick up a few more, not just for myself, but I have a few friends who might be interested in reading my book, and I thought having it printed out might be a nice option, so I want those binders just in case. And if I don't use them for that, I'll use them for something else. So let's go in, see what we can find. Hopefully something for affordably cheap. From what I remember, I think 3-ring binders are in the far corner. So let's head back there, see if we can spot any. Ooh, I found the notebook section. This is a definite mistake. Am I still going down the aisle? Yes, I am. Like this one, gorgeous, but impractical. For one thing, it doesn't open flat, and the lines are too wide. I'm very specific about my notebooks. They have to be spiral, sort of like this. Yeah, spiral. And they have to have narrow lines, or else it bugs me. I don't know why I'm this picky, I just am. And they also can't be this size. This is too big. You can't fit this in a purse. See the lines? Perfect. Spiral? Great. Can't fit it in a purse. Okay, I'm leaving the notebooks behind. I'm being good. 3-ring binders, that's what we came for. So they've got a lot of plain colors. I think I need, is it an inch, 2 inch? This size is what I need. But do I want a plain color? Plain colors are $5. I like that price point. But they don't have any pretty colors. Nothing aesthetic. Over here they have a few. But they're big ones. They're not the normal size. This might be. That's pretty. This green one here is nice. But it's $10. That's ridiculous. More of a splurge than I'm willing to do. They do have these ones. They're only $3. I think, is that the right size? I might need a little wider than that, but they're flimsy, which I'm not a fan of. However, I love the price point. I'm just not sure if they're wide enough for my needs. This one might be. I don't like the see-through. Who knew 3-ring binder hunting would be so hard? Look at this. It's a tiny one. This is actual book size. That'd be fun to print it out as an actual book. Oh, it's $8 though. That's too expensive to buy just for fun. But that's really cute. I love that. I don't know about you, but I like picking colors according to my project. And my night sky project would be great for blue, but I don't need to print that out right now. But I do have an Egyptian themed project I'm working on, and yellow would be a great color for that. I think I might go with this one. Why did no one tell me that Staples has snacks? And ask me why I'm tempted to buy these cookies. They're only $4. Not a bad deal. Okay, these notebooks are way more my speed as far as design. Like, look how pretty. That's gorgeous. Narrow lines. Yep. They're spiral. Oh my gosh. Tell me I don't need it. It's a want, not a need. That's pretty too. Oh, they have mugs too. Oh, man. It's like they're trying to get me to buy more things. They have so many good ones. See, I knew this was a mistake. I don't know about you, but I am a notebook collector and I have to save them for special things. You can't just use them for any old thing. I don't need another notebook, but I want to look at all of them. I'm home, got my Staples goodies. Yes, I did grab the cookies. They just looked really good. I will say they smell amazing, but they don't taste as good as I remember, which is sort of disappointing, but that's okay. Grab myself my yellow 3-wing binder and also snagged this shirt from my job. Men's flannel is where it's at. They're made well, they're cozy, they fit right. I am not a fan of how fashion designers make women's flannel because I don't know if they're trying to taper at the waist, but I don't want anything form-fitting when it comes to flannel. I want something slouchy. I want something cozy, comfortable that I can move in and breathe in. And the fabric is so much better. 9 times out of 10, women's flannel is so cheaply made, it drives me up a wall. Fall fashion hack, go to the men's section, find yourself some men's flannel shirts because that's where it's at. I don't know if any of you noticed, but I have an entire bag of apples that I've picked. They're all different kinds, all different shapes. They look and smell amazing. They're all picked from an apple orchard, and I want to use them before they go bad. So I was looking up some apple-themed desserts, and I found this one. They're apple cookies. I'll link the recipe in the description box for you, but I need to grab all of the ingredients. All right, we'll need granulated sugar, which I think is in here. That's powdered. Brown sugar, stevia, 4 times the charm, granulated. There we go. Oh, and we need brown sugar too. All-purpose flour. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna need cornstarch, which I have here, butter, baking soda, vanilla extract. Go away! Curtis, go away! Okay, the cookies
look amazing, and even better, they smell incredible. I don't know if they're gonna be tasty. I'm actually not gonna taste any. These are for my friend Erica, so I'm gonna let these cool, see if I can find some kind of tin or Tupperware to put them in and deliver them on a later date. This was a recipe I've never tried before. I was completely unfamiliar with how these were supposed to look. I mean, they turned out very big. They were not supposed to be this size. The recipe said that it would make 2 dozen cookies. I only made 9. So I think that might have been my problem. But when I made them into little balls, they didn't look that big. Rookie mistake. That's okay. Who doesn't love an extra big cookie? I feel like this is not an error. Like I said before, I'll link the recipe in the description box for you if you want to try it out. It didn't tell me to put the apple slices on top. I just did that for a little bit of garnish, a little rogue creativity. But now I'm gonna let them cool, put up my feet after a long day of work, and settle in for the evening. Good in the world. I have tea, I have my story that I'm working on right now up on my computer. I've got cookies that taste far better when you dip them in tea, and a few books I thought I would chat to you about. October was a great reading month for me. Not in the sense that I read a billion books, but I read 2 books and thoroughly enjoyed them. I would much rather read a book at my own pace, thoroughly enjoy the experience, than check a box off saying, I read 10 books in a month. That's not my priority. And the one that kicked off my fall was this one, The Only One Left by Riley Sager. This was my book of the month pick for, I think, July. This took me on a whirlwind adventure. This was the perfect suspenseful mystery that I was craving to kick off autumn. It kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. It's been a while since I've read a book this quickly. I was turning pages like it was my job, trying to figure out the puzzle to this plot. I have given you the synopsis of this book in another video, so I won't bore you by doing it again, but just know this was the perfect whodunit. It takes place in an old, huge mansion, and though it doesn't have secret passageways, it does have secrets. When I got to the point of the book, and if you've read it, you know what moment this is, where you just look at the page and you're like, no, that can't be right. And then you have to go back and be like, wait, did I miss a clue? Did I read this right? Have I been reading it wrong the entire time? It's so good. So if you're looking for a non-scary, suspenseful mystery to keep you on the edge of your seat, highly recommend this one. As a warning, I have mentioned before that my personal book boundary is that I don't touch anything to do with the occult. This has a very small mention of a very typical device used in Halloween. I'm veiling my words so that any moms who have young listeners watching can know that their kids' ears are safe. But there's a mention of something, an item that a lot of people use around Halloween, and I typically will put down a book if it gets too involved, but it was a very skippable scene. I don't know why it was put in there except for creep factor. Wasn't a deal breaker. Absolutely loved this book. This next book I'm going to talk about not only is another book of the month pick, they are churning out some great books right now. I actually skipped a few months of my subscription because I just wasn't feeling any of the books for those months. But since fall has hit, they have had some incredible reads. Last month, I picked 3 books, and this month, just today, I picked 3 books. That's not normal. I don't normally do that, but I literally could not pick. And one of my 3 picks for last month was this one, The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen me talk about this a little bit. The quick 10-second elevator pitch for this book is that it's practical magic crossed with Gilmore Girls. That is a perfect description of what this is. Takes place in a small town, has magic thrown in, but very clean, innocent, good magic. With my book boundary, magic is a tentative tightrope that I balance. If it goes too far one way, I usually put the book down. This doesn't go anywhere uncomfy. It's the kind of magic that I look for in a quote-unquote witchy book. There's wholesome family moments. There's the charm and humor of a small town. There are high stakes that kept me up past my bedtime on more than one occasion. And as a tasty little bonus, after every single chapter, there is a recipe of food mentioned in this book. Food is a very prevalent part of the narrative. It's almost like its own character because the magic involved has to do with earth things and plants and herbs. Kind of cool how the author incorporated food to be its own kind of magic. Not the kind of loud kapow magic we see in fantasies. This was more internal. This was more subdued, but it was beautiful. I loved how the author made magic cozy. I mean, let's be honest, if you put magic and food together in a small town environment, it's gonna be cozy. And fun fact, when I was reviewing this book on Instagram, I even mentioned my book boundary about not liking dark magic, how that was just an absolute no. And I don't mean fantastical dark magic, I mean dark magic that feels real and icky and uncomfy. And to my surprise, the author herself responded to that story. You know what? I'm gonna read it because I don't want to speak out of turn and say her words incorrectly. She said, "Ah, I am the same, so this makes me so happy. Thank you." Because I had mentioned that I would have put it down otherwise, but I never once felt the need. This is probably my coziest read of this fall, and I wish I could experience reading it again for the first time. The battery on my camera is dying, so I'm gonna change it really quick. There we go, battery changed. And also time for a refill. Yes, I brought an entire thermos over because my tea gets cold really fast. It's right by the AC unit on my wall, so it just gets too cold too quickly. Now on to my current read. I actually have 3 book of the month picks that I had you all vote on my Instagram. I know I say this all the time, but if you're not following me on Instagram, you really should, because that's where I ask your opinion most often. And this time I asked your opinion on what I should read next. I gave you 3 options and the votes were surprisingly divided. But while I was waiting for you all to vote on that poll to choose between 3 books, I decided I would start in on this one. I happened to see this on sale at Walmart for a very affordable price and thought, why not? I'll pick it up. This sounds really good, and because you haven't heard the synopsis in another video, I'll read the back of it for you. The tagline says, "It will keep you turning pages long past your bedtime." We all love that. When Chloe Davis was 12, 6 teenage girls went missing in her small Louisiana town. By the end of the summer, her own father had confessed to the crimes and was put away for life, leaving Chloe and the rest of her family to grapple with the truth and try to move forward while dealing with the aftermath. Now, 20 years later, Chloe is a psychologist in Baton Rouge and getting ready for her wedding. While she finally has a fragile grip on the happiness she's worked so hard to achieve, she sometimes feels as out of control of her own life as the troubled teens who are her patients. So, when a local teenage girl goes missing, and then another, that terrifying summer comes crashing back. Is she paranoid, seeing parallels from her past that aren't actually there? Or, for the second time in her life, is Chloe about to unmask a killer? Ooh, it's so good. How far am I? I'm 4 chapters in, just about to start chapter 5, and it's already so good. I feel like this is gonna be a page turner. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is gonna keep me up a lot. And the end is just gonna be a blur of, oh my goodness, I need to know how it ends. I'm very excited for this, and I think it's gonna be a pretty quick read. That's why I decided to pick it up while you all were voting on that poll. Speaking of the poll, the majority vote out of the 3 books that I had offered up as options, the book you voted I should read next is called The Wishing Game. Isn't the cover gorgeous? This is compared to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, except with a twist. Let me read the inside cover so that you have an idea of what the book's about. And honestly, as a reminder to myself, because I kind of forget. Years ago, a reclusive mega best-selling author quit writing under mysterious circumstances. Suddenly, he resurfaces with a brand new book and a one-of-a-kind competition, offering a prize that will change the winner's life. Lucy Hart knows better than anyone what it's like to grow up without parents who loved her. In a childhood marked by neglect and loneliness, Lucy found herself solace in books, namely the Clock Island series by Jack Masterson. Now a 26-year-old teacher's aide, Lucy is able to share her love of reading with bright young students, especially 7-year-old orphan Christopher Lamb. Lucy would give anything to adopt Christopher, but even the idea of becoming a family seems like an impossible dream without proper funds and stability. Just when Lucy is about to give up, Jack Masterson announces he's finally written a new book. Even better, he's holding a contest at his home on the real Clock Island, and Lucy is one of the 4 lucky contestants chosen to compete to win the one and only copy. For Lucy, the chance of winning the most sought-after book in the world means everything to her and Christopher. But first, she must contend with ruthless book collectors, wily opponents, and the distractingly handsome and grumpy Hugo Reese, the illustrator of the Clock Island books. Meanwhile, Jack, the mastermind Masterson, is plotting the ultimate twist ending that could change all their lives forever. Do you see now where the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory vibes come from? It does have that high stakes setting, but it sounds so good. I just need that right now. I need that kind of read. But this sounds incredible, and thank you all for voting and suggesting I read it. Well, loves, it's about 9:30, which is usually when I start winding down for bed. So what I'd like to do is read a little bit of my Flicker in the Dark book, get a chapter or 2 in before going to sleep, which means I'll need to leave the vlog here. Thank you guys so much for coming along on this day in the life with me. I hope you enjoyed running errands and baking. I recently asked you in a community tab post what you'd like to see from me for the month of November, and you all came up with the most wonderful, inspiring comments. First of all, thank you so much for participating in that question. I not only value this community, but I value your time. And my goal always is to find something that I enjoy filming, that you enjoy watching. That middle ground sweet spot is always what I'm aiming for. So thank you to everybody who responded to that question, because that really did help me out. On Wednesdays through the month of November, I'm doing live creative hangouts for NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. Even if you're not a writer, you can still come and hang out. I'm gonna be participating in NaNoWriMo, but you can do whatever creative endeavor you feel like. One person even asked if they could take a nap during the creative live, and I said that was totally valid. If that's what you want to spend your time doing, dedicate that time to a nap. I won't stop you. I think that's all the updates you need to know. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys. Mwah.